Some people might say that Will Ferrell has completely lost it in the past year.
Whoa!
Not only did he have things going on with his former SNL co-host decided to turn trans, and he was very in favor of that. I can't say that I can tell you one way or the other how I think because it's not my business, and that's how it should stay for everybody. Not my business. But what is accepted by Hollywood, what is accepted by these people that you've been around when you've been in the industry for a long time, and what is more widely accepted by your audience can be two completely different things. And that's what ties us into this story right here. So Will Ferrell dresses up as Buddy the Elf with a cigarette and tells reporter it was a tough holiday season. There's the image right there with the gruff little 5 o'clock shadow sitting next to Michelle Pfeiffer at a hockey game. The Los Angeles Kings, while apparently it is his favorite team and he goes there all the time, dressing up like this around the Christmas season when it's a highly saccharine family film and going out like this, I don't think it's a good look. It's a public stunt to be sure, but I think he's kind of losing himself and his comedic quality. That's just my thoughts about it. There's another thing about this that I have to pick up real quick. I mean, first of all, there's a kid sitting in front of him, but he has to know that he's being filmed and photographed everywhere he goes. So maybe he is a little bit devoid of attention and he's doing this as a publicity stunt. I just don't think it's the right look. I mean, dress up as like someone from old school, like go streaking like in your underwear or whatever like that. You could do something like that, but to for the people who grew up watching Elf and the kids who still watch it today and think it's a wholesome movie, they don't want to see one of their favorite characters, Buddy the Elf, who always so happy and jovial and got his dad to believe in Christmas again. They don't want to see him like this. Not at all. Now it goes further into Elf and the history with it, which earned over 220 million at the worldwide box office. When it released, it's a Christmas classic. Everyone agrees on that, and I would agree with it too. He also said that it was bad. It was bad on set. Between John Favreau, who directed it, James Caan was like, "I can't stand this guy's acting," but he later came around to him once he saw the finished film. Because James Caan's more of a serious actor. I mean, it's Sonny. It's Sonny from The Godfather. Like, why would he not be? He was always taking more serious roles, but then he saw what the finished product was. He saw it's like, wow, now he's got kids. Like his kids can do stuff. His kids love it. And James Caan, who was a consummate professional, Will goes back to reminisce on his amazing rest in peace. We had such a good time working on that movie because he would tease him all the time. And Will Ferrell's more like an SNL sketch guy. He wasn't someone like Robin Williams who would be on all the time, and he knows that. But Caan just wasn't ready for it, I guess. When he saw the finished product, he said, I've got to tell you, I thought everything you're doing was way too over the top. And now he loves it. It also goes on to say that, like, we all know that, well, maybe not all of us, but like, I know that there was going to be an Elf sequel. Everyone wanted to do it. And even Will Ferrell did. James Caan was in. John Favreau was in. Will Ferrell was in, except for John Favreau, because apparently they didn't get on along on set. And he turned down a $29 million offer. And his reasoning for this is actually kind of sound. Back then, I would have had to promote the movie from an honest place because this comes from an article from 2021. So this is before whatever he's doing now. And he said, I just couldn't turn down that much money. And I thought, can I actually say those words? I don't think I can. So he can't do the movie. Which brings us into something that I want to parallel the differences in where he was and where he is now. Because he also opened up to the Hollywood Reporter this is in 2021, by the way. Let me scroll all the way up to the top. This is when he first announced it in 2021. And he says that quote from the last one was in there. And this is what really hit home with me about why he is losing his way. I think he's a little bit off the rails, is because back then he talked about Land of the Lost. Whether you liked it, whether you didn't, whether you remember it or not, whether you saw it or not, it was a remake based on a 1974 television series of the same name. It was very campy. It was very goofy, and it was supposed to be. I mean, that's Will Ferrell's shtick. With a budget around 100 million, it lost about 68. And that's when Will got his eyes open. Not everything's going to be a hit. You can really love what you worked on, but that doesn't mean that audiences are going to love it too. So this is the difference between Hollywood's perception of you, and the fans and the audience's perception of you. And he was saying that he was scared at the time. So he thought people were going to point and laugh. And at that same night, he goes out to dinner. Guy sees him in the bathroom. He's like, "Land of the Lost," and he's just so on pins and needles. And the guy compliments him. And so it was a good reminder that there's the movie business and then there's the world. So yeah, your skin gets thicker and you learn to shake it off, and it does get easier over time. Well, Will, you kind of put yourself in this predicament by kowtowing to Hollywood and then realizing the audience and the world see your movies for something completely different than what Hollywood does. Hollywood's all about money and laundering. They're really good about cleaning clothes somehow. But it's the fans that you want to please. And dressing up as Buddy the Elf, completely disheveled, unshaven, with a fake cigarette in your mouth at a hockey game where you know people are going to be taking pictures, you know there is high press and media there, and putting that out for people who are fans of your movie is not a good look. And those are the people who you want. Those are the people who ultimately matter in the end. So what are you doing, man? If you learned that back in 2021, what are you doing now in the end of 2024? I think he's fallen off his rocker. I think it has completely addled his brain for some reason. I don't know why. I'm also tired of his shtick, so I really don't hope he gets better. But I hope he gets better for his own personal reasons. But if you have anything to say about this, please leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Share, subscribe to the channel. We would really appreciate it, where you can see a lot more stuff like this all across geekdom. In the meantime, this is Malty from the GCA, and y'all have a great evening. Bye.